Welcome back to another Lachlan Talks on the internet. I was going to talk about aging today because this came up quite a few times today for some reason. It was that concept of, how old we are and we're getting old. And look, I've got time to fill, so, and I've got that ADHD squirrel brain, so I may end up back there. Who knows? But I also wanted to talk about I suppose, realities of life. And I see this trend going around at the moment of, you know, if you're young and in your 20s and have no responsibilities, I am not taking your advice on fitness. And look, to be honest, I actually fucking love this. And I think it's hilarious because, I am not someone who's been genetically gifted in my life on that front. And yet I look back at when I was in my 20s and the shit I used to get away with compared to now. And yeah, like I used to give advice and I was like, but on Sunday I had nothing to do. I worked from Monday to Friday and a little bit on Saturday, and then Sunday I was like, cool. So me and my best mate sat on our couch and we played video games from sun up till sundown, and we'd spend like $150 on cheat day, and we'd just eat like no fucking tomorrow. It was absolutely insane the amount of food we used to eat. And I used to give all this advice on how you should live your life, but like, yeah, I had a business, but that was about it, really. Like, didn't have anything else. Well, I had a business and who would now become my wife. But I took her out, I looked after her, I spent time with her, but she worked on Sundays. So life was cruisy, kind of thing. And now, like, I don't know what it was about today, but I was fucking knackered. Like, I got home at like 2 o'clock. My wife is sick. My son is sick. And my babies were needy and wanted me. And I was like, I could literally fall asleep standing up right now. Like, it was crazy how tired I was. And yet there are responsibilities. Like, I have shit to do here. I have things that need to get done. And so they're going to get done. I'm here talking to you because that was what I gave my word on. I gave my word that that was what was happening. Therefore, it's fucking happening. End of story. But it's what? 20 to 8. So I'm tracking better than normal, but my son needed to be put to sleep because he doesn't feel good. So he needed extra love and support tonight. So cuddled him to sleep and really did it. My daughter feels like she hasn't seen me this week. So I snuggled her to sleep. I read her 6 stories plus a book about birds, which I love. That my 3-year-old wants me to read a bird watching book to her so we can know what birds there is when we see them, and we can identify them and know what they like and stuff. And it's like 500 pages, so we don't read all the things, but we know all the birds that we are likely to see. So I read her all these books, and then you turned off the light, and I literally cuddled her until she fell asleep. And this is the one when they talk about, like, when you don't have any responsibilities, it's really easy to be like, your fitness and your health must come first. And that is a true fucking statement. Like, there is no truer thing than you have to put your health and your fitness first. But it's much easier to say that when you have no responsibilities. And especially when you're the person saying that, when your only responsibility is to look after your health and fitness. It's much harder when you are running a full-time business, when you have, family to look after, you have kids, you have other things that have to be taken care of first. And don't get me wrong, like, as I said, that got done. Like, all the things on my list are getting done. And, once I'm done here, my wife is not feeling good, so I'm going to go take care of her too. But the work still has to get done. And there's this thing of where your priorities lie. And look, sleep matters. Don't get me wrong, sleep does matter. But I'm working on a different framework than just being healthy. I am working on being a man of character, a man of substance, a leader for my children, for my wife, for those in the work with, for all those around me. That is also what I'm working on. And therefore, it means that I have to put those people first sometimes. But it doesn't mean I get to slack off on the other things. It means I still have to show up and do this work, no matter how tired I am. I'm knackered today. But I need to go to bed with a clear mind and knowing I gave it my all still, that I did the work that was required so that I can get up tomorrow and keep moving forward with that. And I don't think a lot of people get that. I don't think they get this level of responsibility. And that is required of it. And I think that's a really, really important factor. And yeah, so I really wanted to share that. And then within that, it's an interesting one because, as I said, aging is the topic for the today this week. I was having dinner with a mate, and he's like, "I always forget how old we are," and I was like, "I think we're turning 33 this year. I'm pretty sure that's right." And he's like, "Fuck, we're getting old. We need to get on and do stuff with our life." And I was like, "Well, first thought was speak for yourself, but no, this mate's he's kicking goals and taking names. He's within his field, he's probably one of the most accomplished there is. Like, he's phenomenal. And look, I think I need to as well in like my business areas and things like that. But I have my dream family. I have my dream life. I have two perfect kids. I have the woman of my dreams, and I have been able to retire her, and she just spends all day looking after my beautiful babies and doting on them. And she was sick today, and her father came in and took them away, and they had the best fucking day. My life is great. On the flip side, though, there's this concept of like we're in our 30s. Oh my God, we're so old. And that came again when, my mate walked in for our workout this morning. And I'm foam rolling and I'm stretching and rehabbing my shoulder. And he's like, to be a lifter in your 30s. And I was like, no, I dinged up my shoulder and I'm not stupid anymore. So I'm rehabbing it. I'm doing the things that need to be done so that I can continue to lift for the next 90 years. Yes, and I said fucking 90 years. And it was this whole concept, that you're old in your 30s, but even if we were conservative, 90 should be a reasonable expectation for someone who looks after themselves. And, that should be a healthy 90. I've got 60 years left if I say that. My goal is at least 120. With all the research and telomeres and things like that, I'm hoping by the time I get there, they're going to push it out and I'm going to reach 150. I'm going to see 5 generations of Farleys born. But we've got this weird societal thing of, oh, you're old. You've reached 30. That's it. Should just give up. And so many people just give in to this societal thing that they're old. So they're like, oh, I'm too tired for that. I'm too old to be doing that kind of stuff. I can't be doing those things anymore. The longer I work in the fitness industry, the more I realize that, honestly, age is a state of mind. I have clients in their 70s that are kicking goals and taking names, and you cannot tell that they are in their 70s. And then I will bump into people in their 50s, and I'm like, how have you not died? Like, what is going on here? Age is 100% a state of mind and a physical choice. If you start acting like you're old and you can't do things, and you start believing that your body will break down and that it's disintegrating, and this is just what happens, that you sleep funny and everything fucking hurts, and you're unable to do the things that you used to do, that is absolute bullshit. I have clients who are female clients in their 60s who are comfortably pulling 100 kilos on a deadlift, like easy. Age is a choice. And on the flip side, I have these clients who come in and they're like, oh, I did this injury. Just telling you, never get old. And I'm like, fuck off with that shit. I did more damage to myself when I was in my 20s than I think I'll ever do in my life. Yes, I'm carrying 2 injuries. You know what they're caused by? previous fucking injuries. You know, my shoulder is a previous injury that is coming back that I didn't rehab at the time. So I'm fixing it properly now. My knee was a freak fucking incident. It's not because I'm getting old, it's because things happen. As I said, like I had more injuries in my 20s than most people will ever have in their life. This concept of, but it's like all of that, like, in business, you're in your 30s, like you should just give up. You're just never going to make it. There are many successful people who achieved that in life. Like J.K. Rowling, I think, was in her 40s. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s. Ray Crocker was in his late 50s. It is never too late to reach true pinnacles of success. And as I said, I plan to live to 120. I got 90 fucking years to figure this shit out. Don't want to take 90 years. I want to figure this out now so that I can provide the next level of life for my family. But there's time. It's why I'm more focused on authentically stepping into the man I am, doing the work, being the man I believe, taking off that mask that I've worn for 10 years. Yeah, I made good money doing that, but it's not who I am. It's about stepping into that power and stepping into who I know I am at my core and living that authentic life. All of this is about building momentum. It's why I do this daily. It's not about how many people am I reaching? What is the level of that? No, it's about building that momentum so that when I get to the end of 126 days, this is all just reflex. This is just habit. This is ingrained into who I am. And that's part of that aging. I don't believe I'm going to age poorly because I do the right things. I have an ironclad belief, and they have shown time and time again that beliefs and authenticity are actually the key to raising your vibration and your level of what you achieve. So I believe that I'm going to live to 120 comfortably with incredible health. I believe that I'm in fantastic physical shape. I'm just not there yet. I know that I'm a millionaire. I know that I'm going to create generational fucking wealth. All these kinds of things. And people scoff at that. That's okay. That's all right. But I know in here. And the more I do 126, the more I know who I am as a man. The more I am confident and convinced in it. And every day I walk more and more with purpose and clarity of the person that I know I am. And that's what matters. And that's what 126 is about. And that's why I want to share it. Yes, I want to make money from it. But anyone who runs a business wants to make money from it. But I want to do it more because this is what I was looking for in my moments of lowness. This is what I wanted to find and share. And I want to empower men to step into their authentic self, to step into their power as a man, to be a provider for their family, to find fulfillment in this world where we are told that we shouldn't be men, that we can't be men. And we need to say, fuck that, and we need to step in that because the world needs men. And it needs men of a certain caliber and character to be able to handle that burden. And that's what this creates. And why wouldn't you chase your greatness? Why wouldn't you go pursue that? Why wouldn't you see what is possible when you go all in on yourself? And it comes back to that aging thing. If you're giving up at 30, so be it. What was that quote I saw the other day? I hope when death comes for me that I'm still alive for it. And that hit deep. And I sent it to a friend and they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, it means that when you die, that you were living right up until the moment that you died. Because so many people are not. They've died. They died in their 30s. They're just still breathing. They're not living life. They're fucking ticking along. There's no appreciation. There's no enjoyment. There's no fulfillment in life. And yeah, if that's where you're at, you are going to age badly. Yeah, your life is over at 30. Not me. Not the people I'm attracting. Not the people I'm working with. Because they're growth mindset. They have this belief in themselves that anything is achievable with work, which is true. That at any point they can turn their life around and reach incredible success, which is true. It just starts with being authentically you. It starts with finding a purpose, a challenge, and something to go to war with. It starts with building that character, with that zero choice mentality, that you're going to show up every single fucking day and do the work. That's how you find your fulfillment. That's how you reach that point. That's how you do this stuff. And when you find fulfillment in what you're doing, it is effortless. Just honestly, so easy. And I said that to a mate. I was talking to him about it, and I was like, I've been trying to consistently put out content for fucking years, literally a decade. And it is a grind. Every single day, it's a grind. Not this. Not doing this work. I'm excited for this. As I said to you when I started, I was fucking knackered. Now I'm fucking hyped. Because this is what I am built for. This is what I was meant for. To teach this, to share this with you, to live this life. And even if nothing ever comes of this, even if I never make a cent from this, my life will be enriched from this. I was watching a Rob Bailey video, and he was talking about that, and he was like, everything I've done that I've ever succeeded in, I did it because I wanted to, because it was fun. And I put all the chips on myself, and I wrote it, and we risked it all just to see, because it was fucking fun. And that turned out really well. And every time I do it just for money, it always goes belly up. And that's what it is. You know, you can keep anything ticking along with enough effort, with enough grind, with enough focus. But if it isn't truly within you, it's not, it doesn't light you up, it doesn't bring you that joy, it's never truly going to succeed. And look, that doesn't mean there aren't going to be days where you don't want to do it. That doesn't mean there aren't going to be days where you have to do shit that you don't enjoy. But on the overall spectrum, when you do things that lights you up in here, that is when you have reached success. Where you wake up every day and you roll out of bed and you're excited for the day. You know, and you do things that set yourself up. Like that workout I did this morning with my mate fucking kicked our ass. Like, it was brutal. I felt fantastic for it. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, I was like, fuck yes. How can my day start better? Like, how can it be better than this? We worked hard, we competed against each other, we sweated, we went after it. And that's what matters. And that's the part that I'm trying to impart onto you. I'm trying to install into you that this is the way. This is the way forward. This is how we do great things. You know? And I just want to impart that onto you. I want to share the path to greatness, because you deserve greatness. You don't want to be someone who's like, I'm too old to participate in that. I see it all the time with, parents and their kids. They're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Fucking get on the floor and play with them. Play the stupid games. Play the throwing them up. Play them pushing on the swing, jumping on the trampoline. Chase them like a monster. Get sprayed with water. Play in the mud. You are never too old to play like a child. You are never too old to do that. Aging is a choice. The second you start saying things like, I'm too old for this, I'm old, this is what aging feels like, it's going to get worse. Step into the light, step into the enjoyment, let go of the constraints of what society has placed on us about these things, and just embrace life. Start chasing a better life. Start doing the things that light you up. Start doing the things that make you feel young. If you want to play basketball, go play basketball. If you want to, go ice skating, go surfing, go skateboarding, play video games, whatever it is that makes you feel young and makes you feel that way, as long as it's bringing you joy and improvement in the areas of your life, do it. And all of those things are going to enrich you. And look, more and more, I think everyone should have children, because the way they change your life, the way they impact your world is it hits on a different level, especially as a man, and especially if you have a daughter. When you do that, you find this new level of, I need to provide, I need to succeed, I need to be a man of substance for that little girl, because you will be her first love. You'll be what she bases what a good man is on. So you need to be a good fucking man. You need to be a provider. You need to show her how to love. And you love her mum that way. And you show up and you provide that example. This is what being a man is. And this is what chasing greatness is all about. So I hope that helps. I hope that installed something new in you. I hope that imparted something of greatness on you. And if nothing else, it fired me up. It continued my momentum, and I'll be back tomorrow with more. Until then.